Attack. Attack of the show. Attack.
Six-year-old trapped in mommy's Nissan is what that was. That was sense memory. Hey, it's Tag in the Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. My name is Kevin Pereira. Thank you for feigning interest. Olivia is out today. So the very lovely, the very talented Miss Jessica Chobot is here.
Hey, we're coming to you live from the G4 Studios in Los Angeles.
Oh, you want to know what's on the show today? I'll tell you. The new iPhone OS is here, and we're going to run through the updates. Dr. Steve Jobs finally delivers old-time functionality, you know, like multitasking, huh?
Ooh, go figure.
Oh, and hey, kids, we're going to get crazy. We're going to put things in folders today. It's like the future from 1997. Then get ready to put your lunch into the crapper. Sorry, I had a visual. Today's WTF stars toilet fetishists, everybody. Yeah. Like, do we,
Who doesn't like that?
Where's the tidy bowl man when you need him?
Plus, it's finally game over for E3 2010. I'm gonna miss it. But our experts will break down the convention's winners and losers in the loop. And today's gadget prawn is the new Xbox 360 Slim. It's sleek, it's black, it has a 250-gigabyte hard drive and built-in Wi-Fi. But is it worth the upgrade?
Oh, that's a good question.
It is a good question.
That's a great
And you know
question.
what? We'll let you know.
Hey!
Time now to run down the
TV
top
magic.
5 things of the web.
This thing called the internet,
Yes,
we go around it sometimes.
sometimes.
Ruffian. Scoundrel. A colorful bunch of ne'er-do-wells. Hey, all right. Today, our first clip actually has a backflip, Jessica.
Yes,
but this
it does.
backflip, this particular one, doesn't end so well.
Not so much for the back flipper, but I have a feeling you guys are gonna like it just fine.
That's the best way to end that. I love that. The Euro mix at the end was very nice. Thank you for that.
On the plus side, at least he did stick the landing with his face!
Oh!
I love it when boys cry!
What?
Yeah!
There went his parkour montage. Now, the World Cup has brought a boatload of international attention to the game that they call soccer.
And according to the Onion News Network, the increased media scrutiny has resulted in a major revelation about the sport.
It's the startling confession that has the whole sports world buzzing. Soccer has come out of the closet to tell the world it's gay.
Soccer, the MLS, even the World Cup, all of it is completely gay.
You know, it must have been difficult for soccer to hide the fact that it was gay for so long.
Absolutely. From ancient Greece to modern-day France, there has never been a time when soccer wasn't extremely gay.
16-year-old varsity high school player Jeff Getter, he released a statement saying, I don't condone or accept soccer being gay. I don't like gay things. I don't like to be around gay
Hey,
things.
look, of course a lot of people aren't prepared to play a gay sport, but
Right.
the fact of the matter is, soccer's out.
Yeah.
It's proud. It's going to tell the world,
Yep.
look at me, I'm gay.
Okay. I mean, does this mean rollerbladers are falling off the hook or no? Are they still screwed too?
I think it's across the board on that one.
But just to be clear, I actually want to clear something up, if I may. Americans don't dislike soccer because it's gay. It's because it's gay and boring. Like Elton John.
Not gay and exciting, like football.
Yeah, there we go. That is. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, that's getting really loud now. Thank you, guys. And okay, today's number 3 item comes to us from North Carolina's News Channel 36.
Seems the local man got a surprise visit from an unexpected guest.
I tried to call her.
Tim Peeler thought he was calling Coyote.
Instead of them, him.
He got something that frightened even the self-proclaimed mountain man.
This thing was 10 foot tall. He had beautiful hair. I come out here and rough talked him and run him off. And I said, get away from here. Get.
Oh, get on out of here!
Beautiful hair.
Oh, his lips were so supple.
Oh. My guess is that he hallucinated Bigfoot after blowing a little too hard on the North Carolina version of a Vuvuzela. So sick of that.
Yeah.
Already. Of course, the World Cup is still going on, giving people all over the country an excuse to start drinking at 6 a.m.
Oh, yeah. Like we needed another one. But let's not forget, it also gives people a chance to pretend that they like soccer, right? Exactly. One of the worst things, though, to come out of World Cup madness is, of course, the Vuvuzela. That's that ear-splitting plastic horn that probably causes irreparable hearing loss that everybody's been talking about and everybody hates it, but I bought one off the internet.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I did.
What?
What?
Gotcha. Sadly, South African officials chose not to ban these horns from World Cup matches, so the internet decided it would give us a look at how the noisemaker would have changed a nation's most dramatic rugby match, as immortalized in the lecture movie Invictus.
This portion of Attack of the Show is brought to you by Sobe Life Water. Try one of their 9 zero-calorie naturally sweetened flavors. Sobe knows zero.
The greatest party trick of all time, and it's not the duct tape tuck back.
It is a doozy. Need a place to rest your weary head? Well, if you're this lady, you don't need to look for a pillow.
Do it again. Do it again.
Oh, here's your solid one.
Yes!
I'm never gonna have that problem because I got little boobies.
Oh, that's okay.
Itty bitty.
You can have a party for that. What if a viewer lets you rest your face in their large breasts? Would that be okay with you? Would you?
Let's not even introduce that into the realm of possibility.
Let's actually introduce it right now. Email me, MaribG4.
No.
Is it MaribG4 at G4TV.com? Isn't that the? You know, if you want to be a pillow for Miss Chobot, send it in. Give her a place. Thank God for corsets and for breasts to fill them with.
Now to get your daily viral fix and to check out all the viral videos we have to offer, go to g4tv.com/aroundthenet.
You're gonna get weird boob pics.
I'm gonna get a lot of stuffs in the mails.
Hey, folks, toilets. They're like dumpsters for your body, right?
Best transition ever. Unfortunately, today's WTF is about people that like to dumpster dive.
Aww.
Toilets. We all use, abuse, and sometimes misuse them. But some people out there are a lot more devoted to these plumbing fixtures than you think. Yes! Don't worry, we'll say it for you. What the f? Introducing the Toilet Fandom, a broad group of people that are openly obsessed with toilets. From pushing the handle to watching the flush, these toilet enthusiasts are oftentimes in search of the perfect disposal system and are willing to travel across the globe to find it. But what makes the perfect toilet? Psychologists say that members of the community are more commonly obsessed with the actual sound of the flush. The smoother it is, without any intrusions in the plumbing, the finer the flush. And that makes the enthusiast happy. Many obsessors like to test the power of their toilets by attempting to flush down pieces of clothing, paper towels, or even bundles of rocks, which only the best loos can succeed in doing. But the most common type of potty buff is the toilet critic, reviewing every different kind of fan load and washdown that he or she finds in hotels or friends' bathrooms, even taking their tops off to inspect the water tanks and fill valves. Whether it's a classic Afwal, American Standard Madeira, or vintage Kohler High Crest, the hardcore critic can usually cite the year and the model of each loo like it's a car in an auto show. On the web, of course, is where most of this toiletry goes down, with dozens of dedicated YouTube channels like Toilet Dude 7, who has more than 180 full-length flushing videos and over 250 subscribers to date. There aren't many popular toilet fan sites, however, so I think it's time that we make one. After all, my personal favorite, it's the Gerber Ultra Flush with the front lever and pressurized tubing. Just saying. So if you too like stuffing underwear down the crapper or reveling in the presence of a quality flush, then go ahead and flush away. Just don't mind us when we ask, what the f? I may never use the toilet and record it on video again. I'm serious. I think that kind of ruined it for me.
I'm actually pretty proud of my toilet because I've got the Japanese Toto toilet that like sprays you down and then dries you off and has a heated seat and
whispers
it's got, like,
nice things about your butt cheeks to you
like
while you sit on it.
Yes, you've been doing those squats lately, Jess. They're very sexy.
So
Sit them
good.
on my rim. Wait, what? Whoa!
Where are we going? Go on, explore.
I can't breathe right now.
All right, it's time for today's viewer poll presented by AT&T. Now, E3 brought us many gifts. We got a new Xbox, a new DS, new motion controllers, but now we want to know what you think. Who won E3? Was it Nintendo, Microsoft, or Sony? Log on to G4TV.com to vote now. We'll have the results a little later in the show.
And still ahead, Trend Humper takes you through the wild and intoxicating world of sake. Oh, one of my favorite drinks. Now you can look extra fancy the next time you guys go out for sushi.
And later, Microsoft unveiled the Xbox 360 Slim last week at E3, and we are reviewing it today. Does the smaller, quieter, sleeker 360 live up to the hype? I don't know. Put it on my rim. Let's find out.
All over the world, people are laying their fingers on other people's Butterfingers. But fear not, the Butterfinger Defense League has got your back. They're looking for the fourth member of their team, and it could be you. You could even win $20,000, plus a trip to Comic-Con to meet Olivia and myself. What's better than that? Go to G4TV.com/Butterfinger Defense League to learn how you can join the fight.
Drinking in the privacy of your own home, you might be an alcoholic.
Yeah, but if you like, I don't know, drinking on the playground, you might be my dad.
Oh, Father's Day was just yesterday, man. We shouldn't make that joke.
Maybe I didn't forget, Jessica. Either way, today's trend... No, too real? Was that just a little sprinkle of reality? Either way, today's Trend Humper will have you tanking up in style with the wonderful Japanese beverage known as sake.
Konnichiwa. I am back at Spin in beautiful New York City to get the lowdown on one of the hottest trends hitting the bars all across the world. Of course, I am talking about sake.
With
with me is Bradley Carbone from Complex Magazine. He's going to give us the who's who of sake. So what is the origin of sake?
It's a traditional drink from Asia. It came to the U.S. right after World War II. As sushi grew in popularity, it kind of accompanied it.
Am I correct in saying it's not necessarily just from Japan?
It's not necessarily just from Japan, but lots of Asian countries make their own sake. It's made from rice, so any country where rice is a staple, there's usually an alcohol that's made from it.
Sake.
Sake is classified based on the way that the rice is polished. The cleaner the rice is, the cleaner the sake that's created is. When you start, you have just table sake, and then you kind of move up through the ranks. So you have Junmai Ginjo, Ginjo, and Daiginjosaki.
All right, should we try some?
Sure. Why don't we start with some Junmai sake and then move up from there?
All right, sounds good.
Okay, this is Arakasumi, and yeah, let's give it a shot.
Junmai Ginjo, Arakasumi.
So you kind of get these floral notes, these fruity notes.
It's really simple. It's really light.
That's why it goes with so many different types of foods. This is the Ginjo sake. So this is another step up. This one is Sato no Homare.
Ginjo Sato no Homare.
Oh, much
So it's a
stronger.
little different, right?
Yeah. All right. Oh, much stronger flavor, too.
It also tastes like, you know, like much more kind of complex flavors, but it's still a clean flavor. The final sake that we'll taste is this Wakataki Daiginjosaki.
Daiginjo Wakataki.
Daiginjo is kind of at the upper echelon of the sake categories.
Let's see how high-end sake tastes. This actually doesn't smell as strong as the others.
Right, well, because if you think about it, this is really clean.
Wow, that's actually really good.
So it tastes really clean, but really complex flavor.
Right. I can't even describe the taste to that. I'm saying I'm a high-end girl. I'm going with the classy one.
That's good, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You look like a high-end girl.
Well, I hope that takes some of the mystery out of sake, but now, in true sake fashion, I think Bradley and I are gonna do a little sake bomb. Sayonara.
Kanpai.
Kanpai.
Itadakimasu.
Oh, yeah.
Sake it to me, baby. I was planning that. One.
You did a completely different.
Sake it to me, baby.
Earlier there was thrusting, and it was a far more involved
Well, I
statement.
think I've already made enough
Here you were directing traffic and landing a Southwest
semi-sexual
flight.
jokes that I kind of want to avoid that for the rest of the show.
Right, you did a good job.
No, it's cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The rim variety.
Thanks.
Hey, for more tips on sake, head on over to complex.com, everybody.
Yay. And now over to our AOTS anchorwoman, Kristen Adams.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. That was such a courtesy clap. You guys suck.
Yeah, Kristen!
It's good. Right now, it's time to start the feed.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. It's Monday, June 21st, and here are your top stories. Apple's brand new iOS 4 operating system is available for download today in advance of the iPhone 4 release later this week. The software update promises magical new features like multitasking app folders and access to Apple's iBooks store. But don't jump for joy just yet. Older iPhone and iPod Touch models won't be compatible with some of the new features. In fact, if you're still rocking that first-gen iPhone or iPod Touch, not only are you a loser, you won't be able to download the new OS at all. Sorry. Toshiba just unveiled its own potential iPad killer. The biggest selling point? The company's new tablet doesn't just have one touchscreen, it has two. The book-shaped Libretto W100, they need a shorter name because I clearly can't say it, is being billed as an ultra-mobile PC and currently carries a $1,099 price tag. So far, Toshiba is still referring to the Libretto as a concept PC, but will give the dual-screened gadget a limited run this summer. Ever since Guillermo del Toro left the Hobbit movie, I know I minored in Spanish, I said his name perfectly. All right, Lord of the Rings fans have despaired that Brett Ratner could wind up helming the project. But a new rumor may bring hope to fans of Middle-earth. According to the OneRing.net, District 9 director Neil Blomkamp is the current frontrunner to direct the adventures of Bilbo Baggins. Blomkamp has worked closely with Lord of the Rings director Peter Jackson in the past, so this could be very good news for fans like me. Please let it be true. Please let it be true. If you say please enough, it happens, I heard. I don't know. And finally, do you need more distractions on the road? I do. In an attempt to curb the state's $19 billion deficit, California is considering legislation that would place ads on your license plate. Why texting is illegal but ads on your license plate isn't, I don't know. It's all about money. By issuing electronic plates to California motorists, advertisers would be able to buy ad space directly from the DMV. Apparently, the ads would be similar to the distracting electronic billboards that have been cropping up in metropolitan areas. Although the idea is still in early phases, we can already see one positive result. Like when you rear-end the car in front of you, their license plate could instantly pop up an Occidentes ad, which would helpful.
More Espanol in the feed, huh?
I know. I really need to practice my Spanish. I'm kind of losing it. So I'm Kristen Adams, and you've just been fed. Now let's go back to Kevin and Jessica. Adios.
Es bilingual.
As we just told you in the feed, iPhone OS 4 is here.
Yeah, you know all those other features that smartphone users have had for years? Well, they're finally available on the iPhone, everybody. So, all right, first and foremost, there is multitasking, sort of. Just double tap the home button and you have a list of your most recently used applications. You can swipe through them. Swiping to the right lets you go to the old iPhone section. You can also organize your icons into neat little folders, huh? There's a concept. And that'll take away the clutter on your screen. The wallpaper, this is a big one. The wallpaper can be changed now, people. Whatever image you want, you put it back there. So simple. Of course it took forever to get. And brace yourselves for this. You can tap to focus on videos. So let's get that up here. If you're taking a video, you can tap on the person, it'll focus. But what if they move? What if they move? Just tippy tap them again, and your focus done. Shift. Plus, they've added tethering, everybody, huh? For an additional $20 a month. Thank you, AT&T. And one thing I want to complain about real quick is the multitasking thing. So here's my Vuvuzela app, right? I loves me a good Vuv. You know what I mean? You just tappy tap. But let's say I get an email or something like that. I need to back out. I want to see my Instapaper. All right, I can click there and load that up. But now let me go back to the Vuvuzela because I want to get back to making horn noises. Oh, it's reloading the application. Why? Because it's still not anywhere close to the Palm Pre when it comes to legitimate multitasking. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Steve Jobs. I totally agree with Kevin on that one.
Can't wait to get the new one on Thursday.
What's the point of multitasking if you can't actually task?
Steve can hear you.
He can. He's everywhere. He's got ears everywhere.
Hey, you know how your old Xbox 360 was a huge, noisy monster, and they made you pay an extra $100 for Wi-Fi? Not anymore.
The new bad. Now, the new Xbox 360 is definitely slimmer and more stylish. The original is about a foot across. Here we go. And the Slim is almost 2 inches shorter. Show that. It's also about a ½ an inch thinner. These things are kind of heavy.
Yeah, they are. We're talking about, this thing is so sleek and just herniated. So
although I gotta say, this one is lighter.
That was a hernia.
Noticeably so.
Yeah, no,
come on.
I notice it, but I'm not blown away by it.
Well, with the girl, look, yeah, it's...
But, I mean, you could still use either to weigh down a small child who's trying to get away from you.
True. Weird. They both have the same depth. I'm gonna do this here.
Yeah.
So, Kevin,
I think we've thoroughly shown off all sides of each Xbox, Jessica.
So here's...
I think we've got it.
Wait, no.
No, give us three-quarter perspective tilt.
Here's a square. Here's an angle. Here we go. Do you like the new design?
Look, I do, sure. Again, I don't think it's that... When I hear the 360 Slim, I think of going from like the old PS3 Panini Maker down to the really, really thin one.
Yeah.
There's not that radical of a redesign here. There are 5 USB ports, 2 on the front, 3 on the back, which is 2 more than the Elite has, which would be good for your Project Connextal or whatever the hell they're doing with their motion stuff. There's also a built-in 250 gig hard drive, but you have a problem with that as well as I do.
I do. I'm not totally sold on that. I do like the removable hard drive.
Right. Because eventually when your console bricks, it's nice and easy to take the hard drive off and pop it on the next one that you bought.
And just from a personal work perspective, I use the USB a lot for work and things like that. I don't want to end up they're small. I don't want to end up losing it and then losing all my saves and what have you.
Are you talking about keeping your saves on a USB drive?
Yeah.
Well, you can transfer your old Xbox's data with a USB stick or the $20 transfer cable, so you can still do that, of course, but again, the external hard drive is actually kind of a sad thing to lose, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because that's what we started off with and I love it more or what the deal is, but I don't
Sometimes you don't know what you got till it's gone, Miss Chobot.
Exactly.
Someone should write a song about it.
Exactly. Of course, there's also Wi-Fi.
Yes.
So does this work as advertised?
Yeah, it's wireless. I mean, we
Yeah.
didn't have any problems. Configuring it is really easy, just like you'd expect it to be. We streamed a ton of Netflix and HD, and of course it looked great. But again, the notion here is now it's not an external adapter. Now you're not paying $100 extra for something it should have had built in from the start.
Agreed. Now, Microsoft was able to consolidate a lot of space, which should make it easier to cool down and run quieter.
Yeah.
But is that the case?
They say, like, whisper quiet, but it's sort of the case.
know.
It's still noisy when you're running a game off a disc, but it's noticeably quieter than the Elite. It's also been reported that the Xbox will shut itself off before it overheats, which will give you a red dot of death. So the ring is gone.
The rings are gone.
Hopefully that means it won't die completely, but, you know, only time will tell. Give it a month. One thing of note, though, loading times are actually a few seconds faster on the Slim. We tested boot up time, as you can see, and loading Bad Company 2. It was actually ahead of the Elite. So it's a small thing, but it's there.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm not totally convinced yet.
Do you want to hate this thing?
I don't want to hate it.
Does it have a water jet when you're finished? Or
Well,
what?
you know, oddly enough, I actually didn't mind the loud noise when you started up, just because, I mean, remember the Dreamcast and that thing was like, and it just made you feel so good. And now I turn on the Xbox and it's like, wah, and I'm like, yeah. And so, I don't know, quiet. And then you got nice white noise in the background to take a nap when you're done playing
the
your games.
fan noise, yeah.
I liked it. This is now the most expensive Xbox.
You can buy small alarm clocks that have the sound of the ocean or the wind breeze. You don't have to use a $300 console.
I've got it on my iPhone, but I fall asleep playing on my couch. It's all done. It's done.
The oddest things about the Xbox are the ones you're going to miss the most. Like,
shut up.
Well, no, I'm just saying. Like, I'm gonna miss the old headset because the cable made it easy to choke myself out. Like, okay, that's an odd usage, Jess, but I get you're gonna miss it.
Some people might like it, Kevin. You can buy it $300. The Elite is $250, and the Arcade is $150.
Yes.
And for some of us, it's free. Who went to the Microsoft conference?
For some game journalists who can totally afford the new one, they got it free at the conference. It's okay to hate.
I am gonna do a good thing though and give it to my brother, my old one to my brother.
That is nice of you.
Because I missed his birthday. So what are we rating it?
5 out of 5, everybody. And here's why. As far as the Xbox goes, it is the best one to date. It has the bells and whistles included that you wanted for the price. That's okay. If you already own an Xbox, this is the important part. Don't let that 5 out of 5 mislead you.
Yep.
You don't have to buy this. You already have one. You're fine. If you want the extra features, let's say you don't have Wi-Fi or a huge hard drive, then this is a great deal, so get it. Keep in mind, though, the price will probably come down to $200 in a few months. Now, we don't know if that version will still have the same size hard drive or the built-in Wi-Fi, but there is supposedly going to be another 360 coming out in a few months that's about $100 cheaper. So you might want to wait if you can.
I would say wait,
Yeah.
unless you desperately need one. Now, are you guys looking for some killer deals?
Yes.
Then you've come to the right place.
Sweet.
Killer news.
Hey, look, guys, there's a QR code up right there. Yeah, whatever. Scan it for easy access for these deals. What deals, you ask? Well, first up, extra space for your computer. Doesn't come cheap. But who doesn't want to add an extra terabyte to their PC? Well, you can with this nifty product pairing. It's a Hitachi 1 terabyte internal hard drive with an USB external enclosure that makes swapping internal SATA drives a snap. Normally, this combo would cost you a little under $100, but right now you can get it for only $60.
Whoa.
I know.
What?
That's a big drop.
Maybe I didn't hear you right, Jessica.
Let me reiterate, Kevin.
Okay.
That's an extra terabyte of space on your PC for only $60. Thank you, and you are welcome.
Killer deal.
Now, what kind of job would I be doing if I didn't show you a kick-ass deal on a TV? Worry not, I've got you taken care of. Samsungs are damn good TVs, so when you see one with a few bucks knocked off, you don't pass it up. Like this 40-inch LCD, it rocks 1080p resolution, 120 hertz refresh rate, and 3 HDMI inputs. On any other day, it costs you about $1,100. But from now until Wednesday, you can get it for only, this is pretty impressive, $800. Seriously, which is more than 25% off. That's a big sale. And finally, if you're getting a big-ass TV, why not get a high-def camera to go along with it? Like this Sony 1080p Handycam. Sure, everyone's getting themselves a cheapo flip cam nowadays, but this is a friggin' Sony, people. It's got a 2.7-inch LCD display encased in durable, lightweight titanium instead of plastic. The usual price for this little guy ranges around $750 to $1,000. But head on over to bhphotovideo.com and you can get it for only $375. And it doesn't get much better than that. If you didn't get a chance to scan any of the QR codes on screen, you know, the one over here, and the one over there, and the one over here, just head on over to g4tv.com/killerdeals for info on all these savings and much more. Now stay tuned. We recap the best and worst of E3 in the Loop.
The feed is brought to you by the General Automobile Insurance Services. Here's a gymnast showing his skills on the parallel bars. What happens next? Does he miss the bar and fall on his head? Does he slip and land right on his junk? Or does one of the bars fall off its mount? Find out when we return. Here's a gymnast showing his skills on the parallel bars. What happens next? Does he miss the bar and fall on his head? Does he slip and land right on his junk? Or does one of the bars fall off its mount? Perfect dismount. Minus the groin injury.
Junk shot. Hey, you know, sometimes things happen here on the show. During the commercial break, one such thing did happen. A gentleman by the name of Ray Maldonado popped up on our Twitter wall, and he said, "Kevin, you're crazy. The new Xbox does have a removable hard drive. It's under one of the latches." And I'm like, "What latch?" And I just popped this thing off and pulled this thing. And I'm like, "You think this is a removable hard drive, Ray?" You're absolutely right. This is a 250 gig hard drive. So congrats, Ray, for getting that one correct. We're gonna get you a puppy. Do we have to get him a puppy now? You don't get anything, Ray, but thank you for the heads up. New Xbox has a removable hard drive. We wanted to point that out. We're sorry we got that wrong in Gadget Prom. But with that said, folks, new games, new consoles, and new ways of gaming on consoles. And of course, 3D in your hand? Yeah. The Loop is about to dissect the still warm corpse of E3 2010. Joining me to help us make sense of it all, X-Play's Adam Sessler, and all the co-hosts, Miss Jessica Chobot. How are you, folks?
Good.
Sessler, have you decompressed from E3? Have you been decontaminated? Okay, good.
I didn't have the energy to lift my arm to shave this morning. It's amazing.
Right. I like a gruff post E3
Yeah,
Sessler.
I thought they kind of like, "Hey kids, yeah.
Shh,
Uncle Adam.
All eyes on 2011. Now give me my medicine." All right, let's begin by taking a look at our poll results presented by AT&T. Now, earlier we asked our viewers which one of these guys won the E3. Of course, it was the big three. We had Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. And guess what? Nintendo is the winner with 40% of the vote. Do you guys agree? Do you think that Nintendo had the best show?
You know, I kind of am stepping away from this one only because of my situation working at IGN and doing our live show. I was the only one that I got to see was the Microsoft keynote. But I will say, that being said, the Microsoft keynote I did not find terribly impressive. So yeah, maybe Nintendo won it. I was pretty much stuck in one spot forever.
You got a free
days.
console. Don't cry too many tears all over your new 360
but
over it.
that's the thing. Like, you get the free console, and I just want to make sure everybody knows, like, you know, Microsoft was not good just because you got a free console. There was a lot of things there that I had some issues with.
I think, like the first 20 minutes of Microsoft, it was like, "Oh, look, games I care about. Oh, wow, I'm bored." Right. Like, Don Mattrick couldn't sell me free money at this point. Nintendo, I watched Nintendo while outside the shrine to do Sony on a TV this big, and even with that, I'm like, yeah, these guys took it away. And I think that if you actually included EA in those top three, it would have probably gotten number 2. I think Sony had a strong showing that was more entertaining for the people in the audience there than it, came across on TV or on the web. I think Microsoft's was just like, wow. I mean, I saw confused messaging. I didn't know who they were trying to talk to, and I didn't know who all the people they could be talking to could actually be excited about all their new technologies.
Was it Lollipop Girl, or who were they trying to chat?
Lollipop and Velveteen?
Velveteen, yeah.
Wow.
Lollipop and Velveteen, loved it.
Jessica, I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of female gamers. They kind of have cool names. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to. I know you weren't at the Nintendo conference, but surely you heard the announcements and all the other stuff that came out. Yeah. And so, was it just because Nintendo went back to their old, stable, their reliable cast of characters, or was it really the 3DS?
You know, I think a combination of 3DS and also the fact that they kind of finally gave us what they've been promising for years and years and years, which was a lot more of the like titles we grew up with that, you know, might lean more towards the hardcore that everybody, like GoldenEye and things of that nature. New Legend of Zelda, although that one I heard was a little
I was a little, actually, Kirby's Epic Yarn is like the most awesome, charming game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing I have to say. I think this is why the avatars for Kinect and, you know, whatever is being used in Move, they don't possess that innate charm that Nintendo has, and that even though, yeah, Kirby's kind of hardcore, it's also a pink blob without legs.
Right.
And
But now it's not even that. Now it's an awkward thing of yarn that can shapeshift.
Like the co-op in that game, I was playing with Abby Happy, and it was like I could have done that just all day long. Yeah.
All right, but you weren't flailing your limbs madly and knocking over lamps and kicking your house pets, because we all know that motion control is what's hot. That's the way people are going to want to play games, right? According to Sony and Microsoft, they showed off their new motion control. Jess, what did you think? Are you on board with Move, or are you ready to connect?
No, I'm not. Now, the thing with Kinect, the only thing I would actually ever really use it for is
Skittles.
Well,
you want
okay,
to pet Skittles?
All right, it's true. Yes, Skittles. I know that's like the one thing. Okay, but no, seriously. I mean, I'd like to use it as like a media browser for my Xbox. I love the fact that it has voice recognition. I can't wait for the day I can walk into a room and like pre-program it to say nice things to me. Like that is what I want to have happen. Like, hello, Xbox. And you know, there's realms of possibility there. Like Garmin does with the voiceovers from Star Wars. Why can't we have that for the Xbox voice recognition as well? Eventually.
Right.
Another thing with Kinect is if they do really try to push this 3D home entertainment gaming with us, how rad would it be with Kinect to be like at your, like sitting in your couch, you've got the 3D, you know, system thing for like Mass Effect, you're flying your own Normandy and you're like straight up out of Minority Report.
All that would be awesome, and teleporting Will.i.am onto my coffee table would be great too.
I know.
But what we've seen so far...
Wait, let me finish. I mean, I think it's a step in the right direction. Let me finish. I think it's a step in the right direction.
Kanye hasn't popped out yet. You're good.
A step in the right direction, but for what they're trying to push it for right now, as far as like a controller to do your games, totally not sold.
User interface makes sense, but what about...
I also hate the name. I think they should have just stuck with Natal.
It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, Natal at least sounded kind of cool, but...
Well, it's also, it's not right. No, but I think the other thing is, this is a huge launch for them. This is a whole way to get a new audience. This is something that clearly just with the Cirque du Soleil show, they're dumping lots of marketing dollars. They should have a game coming from Microsoft that is a must-have. They do not have a Wii Sports. I mean, that's what I can't understand. It was the most kind of just sort of limp rollout in terms of software.
They did kind of have a sports game, but it wasn't theirs. I mean, it was like an obvious like rip-off of what Nintendo's done.
Something with the significance of Wii Sports, and they can't do it by just aping Wii Sports. They needed to have this, oh wow, the closest thing we have is Mizuguchi's, and that isn't even Natal specific.
True.
It's Natal optional.
You can dance along with Lady Gaga with the harmonics game, though.
Look, I was having some talks with some of the guys upstairs, and that's probably the most standout game for Kinect.
Right.
That is damning it with faint praise if there ever was reason to do so.
And again, all these experiences we've had before. Yes, you had to hold the Wiimote for it, but so what? You know, you had a tiny little device with a wrist strap. We've had those experiences. I want the fresh new experiences that we can't have.
Motion control in their press conference. I mean, look at the irony. It's backwards.
Well, what they totally want... Nintendo did it right the first time, so they don't need to prove themselves anymore. I think it's really... kind of annoying that, you know, Sony and Microsoft are trying to... I mean, we always knew they were going to jump on the bandwagon. Obviously, it's a business. But it's just kind of like the way that they had put down Nintendo in the very beginning and how sassy they were about it, and now they're kind of trying to play back
Look at what we have brought to the industry.
Yes, and
no one has done this before.
Like it's their thing.
Yes.
I'm like kind of insulted. I'm not stupid, people. I know what you're trying to do, and I'm not sold on it.
Yes, it's a press conference, not a... I don't know, like dummies conference. I'm out of parables. I had a long E3.
Points were made today, my friends. Thanks to Adam and Jessica for keeping us in the loop. We appreciate it. And don't miss coverage of the winners of E3 over on the G4 website starting this Wednesday. But folks, time is running out. So if you want a chance to win $20,000 and become a member of the Butterfinger Defense League, you've got to submit your video before this Thursday. Really?
A crime wave of epic proportions is sweeping the country. Good citizens everywhere live in fear of debased criminals laying a finger on their precious Butterfingers. If you are the victim of this devastating loss, there's only one place to turn. The Butterfinger Defense League. They are Eric, Sex Strutter, Lou, Strongman Ferrigno, and Charisma, Sassy Carpenter. When all hope is lost, they make life delicious again. But we are looking for someone to be the fourth member of the league, and it could be you. Rule number 1. Tell us why you'd be a valuable addition to the Butterfinger Defense League. Show us your own unique ability that makes you a perfect candidate to protect Butterfingers across the globe.
I'd make a great fourth member because I was raised by coyotes in the Angeles National Forest, and I can track a Butterfinger up to 3 miles away. Plus, I invented Butterfinger nunchucks.
Rule number 2. Videos must be no longer than 60 seconds.
Well, it's perfect, except it's 65 seconds long. Why is it 65 seconds long?
Rule number 3. Remember to include a Butterfinger and the line, "Nobody's gonna lay a finger on my Butterfinger." You must say it exactly like that.
Nobody better finger my butter.
Cut. That is so very wrong. Run it again. Take 42.
All submissions will be judged by G4 on the criteria of creativity, technical merit, and the best use of Butterfinger.
The field will be narrowed to 2 finalists, and both will be transported to the 2010 San Diego Comic-Con and appear on the G4 stage with Kevin and me.
The grand prize winner will be announced live and initiated as the fourth member of the Butterfinger Defense League. Plus, they'll walk home with a $20,000 prize.
Go to g4tv.com/Butterfinger Defense League for more info. Good luck.
Coming up tomorrow on an all-new AOTS, Jaleel White, a.k.a. Senor Urkel, will be here for his new show called Fake It Till You Make It. Then we'll review JVC's new HD camcorder on Gadgetron. What makes it special? Well, you can control it remotely using your smartphone. And on DV Tuesday, Chris Gore will review The Book of Eli, Green Zone, and She's Out of My League. See it tomorrow.
Go to g4tv.com/AOTS for all the things you saw today and more.
I want to hand out some thank yous. First of all, to Dr. Adam Sessler for ponying up today, in with the 5 o'clock shadow, and Miss Jessica Chobot for hosting the hell out of this show.
Hey.